Ben was 6'6" with beautiful red hair, and he has a twin sister with same red hair. He was an honors with distinction student. We had a lot of trauma because I ran in the election, and after that, it was like you shame the parent, you shame the child. And Ben, that was the first signs I saw Ben really acting out and walking the streets at night distraught. And then he tried pot, and he's genetically disposed to pot addiction. His father had it, and it was instant. He was addicted. He was on the streets in 3 months from the moment he first tried pot. And for the last 6 years, he and I have been working through this together, but it was a freight train coming. First it was pot, then he went to shatter. Then when he was put into homes with other people in addiction, he went to opioids, needles, and it went from there. Like, he should never have ever been in those environments because his addiction was pot initially. And he was the kindest person in the world. We called him Gentle Ben because he was just soft-spoken and kind to everybody. He was a gentle giant.
If you can you sort of walk me through the events of last weekend when you first heard about his overdose?
Nobody called me. It's such a small city. Someone wrote on Facebook, "Is Ben gone?" And the day before, Ben had overdosed and was brought back. So we know that would be, fentanyl, because you can't come back from cocaine overdose. And someone wrote, "Is Ben gone?" And I knew, as a mother, energetically, I just knew. And I just jumped in my car and drove straight here. Nobody told me the address or anything. I knew where Ben was. And I left my car right there across the street, and I ran across, and I knew it was Ben. And the police were there right where the flowers are, and they tried to work on Ben and bring him back, but they couldn't because he was long gone, long overdose. He overdosed, in the bushes there by himself. He died by himself. I can't believe he left this world alone. And that's heartbreaking to me. I did everything to try and save him in the last 6 years, but it was not possible. They took me in the police car, and while I was in the police car, another overdose was happening at the same time. And Ben was our 10th overdose, and the one in the car was our 11th overdose. So,
what made you want to speak out so soon after suffering such a devastating loss?
All I could think about was, I got to stop this. What would Ben want me to do? He would want me to stop this. And I just got his voice inside me, gave me the strength, and I started speaking out on autopilot and making sure people understood the events that caused these things that unraveled, to be able to, everything from his genetics to his environment to the culture to things that upset him, circumstances, and how quickly you can get addicted. And all you have to do is try cocaine, and you can die from a cocaine overdose or a fentanyl overdose. And we're not getting that message out there. This is way bigger than COVID-19. We shut down the whole entire country for COVID-19, and this is a drug epidemic that everybody's turning away from. I'm so mad that our country's dying because we can't get a hold of this. Shut the country down and get a hold of addiction. The very first thing we have to do is change the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the privacy law, because the privacy law is preventing us from being able to help our children get the help they need. And anyone in addiction or with mental health issues, part of the actual illness is to not acknowledge what's not going on. It's to be in denial of that, and in order to continue to use. So we shouldn't have a privacy law that prohibits us from getting help for someone who's completely out of their mind. And everybody knows this. So we have to start at the level of the laws. That's why we created a group called Ben's Law to change that. And we need people to get behind that at a legislative level. So that's first. If you don't have that, no other doors will open.